I'm Bear Grylls. I've served with the British Special Forces, climbed to the summit of Everest, and crossed the frozen oceans of the Arctic. Now I'm going to take you through 5 of the most dangerous places on the Earth to see if you've got what it takes to make it out alive. This is Man vs. Wild, the game.
And it fucking sucks! Man vs. Wild, the video game, is an adaptation from the growingly popular television series of the same name. It was released in the States on April 26th and places players in several different survival situations to test their survival skills as they relive key events of the television series. It sounds like an interesting concept, but the reality is anything but. Let's take a look at Man vs. Wild, the fucking video game.
I'm flying at 10,000 feet above the Rockies, somewhere near the Canadian border. Millions of people visit here every year. And every year, almost 2,000 don't return alive.
As you'd expect, there's no story. It's simply just one survival scenario after the other. This isn't by any means a bad thing, as it captures the same style as the television series and is therefore easy to accept. And it's not the lack of story in Man vs. Wild, the video game, that lets it down, it's the mundane gameplay. Man vs. Wild, the video game, is a mediocre combination of adventure, puzzle solving, and platforming elements. The first flaw being that it was painfully repetitive. Now, the game actually started out pretty fun, as it showcased all of the cool things you could do throughout the game. Cool things like catching and cooking food, getting water, building fires and children were really cool to do at first, but it didn't take long for it to become mundane, and the sad reality was that in each and every scenario, you were doing practically the exact same thing. The more action-orientated segments such as sailing a raft, battling the rapids, and wading through quicksand tried to change things up, but were just as, if not more boring than what the rest of the game had become. Fuck! Oh god, can you just fucking hurry up? Oh shit, okay. As Bear collects items in each mission, players can combine some with others to forge more useful items such as spears, slingshots and torches. However, this otherwise cool feature comes off feeling like a wasted opportunity, as players can only do this when the game tells them to, and it rarely provides them with the right moments to do so. The feature as a whole could have been more fleshed out. The entire game itself is also very linear, with an abundance of invisible walls to prevent even minor exploration. This seems ironic, as the game is based off of a TV show that seems to contain a shitload of exploration. Therefore, instead of making you search through scrub and terrain for useful items, everything you need is pretty much handed to you, simply just adding to the boredom.
See this? Look, the roots have been eroded by water, creating mini crevices and caverns. Let's look around these trees and see if we can find some food. These holes are often home to catfish.
Throughout the game, Bear Grylls provides narration on what is taking place and gives players direction as to what they should do next. This I actually enjoyed. It was one of the only things that made me feel like I was actually playing out the TV show. It was annoying when he kept fucking asking for water though.
Man, I'm so thirsty. I need water. I need water. I need water.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Unfortunately, everything else about the game's presentation sucked. The game featured varied environments, yes, but there was a severe lack of detail in this department. Animal and character models looked plastic, and the animation was downright stupid. Bear ran like a goober and jumped like he was on the fucking moon. The soundtrack was plain and boring, often looped the same tracks over and over, and sometimes even played over Bear's narration so I couldn't hear shit. In some parts, it stopped playing altogether. It's just a mess. Overall, the game will only take you about 4 hours to fully beat, and trust me, you'll be glad that it's over. I can safely say in summation that any gamer would be wise to give this game a miss. It starts off fun for a brief while, and Bear's narration was really interesting to hear. But the game as a whole is a repetitive, linear and boring experience that wasn't worth the $30 I paid for it. I always thought that Man vs. Wild would make a great game. After playing through this abomination, I think we should all just stick to watching the TV show.